Peace. Welcome to the Parry in our series, Legendary Profiles from the Parry. This series is meant to profile some legendary and some unheralded fighters. Today we will be showcasing Ike Bazooka Quartey. First, let me remind you to jab that like button, uppercut that subscribe button, lead hook that share button, and drop the comment in the comment section. And throw a combination at the notification bell so you can stay updated when we drop new content. Ike Quartey was born November 27, 1969 in Accra, Ghana, West Africa. He was raised in the village of BOUKOM, where some other Ghanaian boxing legends come from like Azuma Nelson and Joshua Clyde. Ike Quartey had an amateur record of 50-4. He also represented Ghana in the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, Korea. Ike Quartey had 42 fights as a professional, with a record of 37 wins, 32 wins by knockout, 4 losses, and only 1 draw. Quartey made his professional debut on November 26, 1988, and won by second-round knockout against Mama Muhammad. 14 of his first 16 professional fights would take place in Ghana, with a couple fights in Spain and in the US. Then he would fight almost exclusively in France. And on his 26th fight as a professional, he fought for and won the WBA welterweight title from Cristiano España of Venezuela, knocking out España in the 11th round. Quartey would defend his WBA strap 6 times before arriving on perhaps what is the biggest stage in boxing, Madison Square Garden in New York City. In 1996, he would defend his WBA title against the 39-1 veteran and title contender, BOUKOM. In round 1, Quartey came out bringing the fight to Carr with that bazooka-like jab and a peekaboo defensive style. He landed some clean jabs and straight rights against the challenger, even caused some bruising under the right eye of Carr early in the round. Quartey won round 1 on the unofficial scorecard. Round 3, Quartey had already established himself as the bigger and stronger man, continued to walk down BOUKOM while picking off his shots with his gloves. Quartey seemed unfazed by Oba's punching power and kept the challenger on the back foot. After 3 rounds, Harold Letterman had Quartey up 3-0. In the beginning of round 4, BOUKOM throws a combo and hits Quartey low. Ref Arthur McCanty chooses not to take a point, but he stops Quartey from holding Carr behind the head and without a warning takes a point from Quartey. But Carr already received 2 warnings for low blows. Round 5, Quartey had that jab working, as he continued to walk down Carr throwing a hard right hand behind that piston jab. But Carr was game and stayed throwing counters and combinations. Quartey punctuated the round by landing some hard right hands to the head of Carr. In round 6, Quartey's jab was becoming more of an effective tool. Quartey lands a clean uppercut on Carr that hurts him. The champion started throwing furious combinations and started to believe he can get his opponent up out of there. He seemed to have no respect for BOUKOM's punching power. Carr continued to back up and fight with his mouth open. Round 7, Quartey kept applying that pressure when he lands an uppercut that clearly hurts the challenger. After 7 rounds, Harold Letterman had Quartey up big in the fight, pretty much winning every round on the unofficial scorecard. In round 8, Quartey continued to walk down BOUKOM and continued beating him up. Oba lands a good right hand and the champ just walks right through it and continues to dish out some punishment. Quartey even starts to smile at Carr as he eats the punches from the overpowered and overmatched challenger. Quartey's jab seemed to be the biggest difference in the fight, as Quartey landed 147 jabs to only 76 for BOUKOM through 9 rounds. After finally receiving 2-point deductions, BOUKOM needed to win the championship rounds big time to have a shot at winning the title. In round 11, Carr gets awarded a knockdown against Quartey. After apparently hitting Quartey in the back, Carr was beginning to fight hard. In round 11, for the first time, he was backing up the champ. Round 12 was a big round for the champ as he punished the fatigued Carr in the final round. The scorecards read 112, 112, 116, 109, and 117, 107, giving Quartey the majority decision over BOUKOM. After defeating BOUKOM, Quartey would defend his WBA strap against Ralph Tiger Jones, knocking him out in the 5th round. His next title defense will be against the 39-3-1 Jose Luis Lopez, on September 17, 1997 at the Foxwood Resort and Casino in Connecticut. In round 1, Bazooka came out in his typical Quartey fashion and establishes that piston-like jab. In round 2, Lopez came out looking to counter the champion, being patient and looking for the opportunity to strike. Then Quartey lands a hook to the body when Lopez lands a quick right-hand counter that stuns the champion, causing his glove to touch the canvas, and the referee gave Quartey a standard 8 count, giving Lopez a 10-8 round. In round 3, 4, and 5, Quartey went back to his bread and butter, that stiff jab. Seemed like he couldn't miss with that jab. In round 6, Lopez started to get closer to Quartey and began unloading some vicious combinations to the head and body of the Ghanaian. Both fighters was throwing bombs in the center of the ring. Going into round 7, the score was 58-57 Quartey on the unofficial scorecard. In round 9, Lopez attempted to press the champion. There were some good exchanges between the two fighters, but Quartey seemed to edge Lopez by landing some hard shots. The Mexican proved he had a pretty good beard in this fight. In round 10, the challenger started landing some good shots on Quartey. Towards the end of round 10, Lopez lands a combination that seemed to hurt the champion. In round 11, Lopez lands a 3-piece that drops the champion and shook him up, and almost got him out of there. The ringside observers had Quartey up big in the fight despite the 2 knockdowns, and so it seemed Lopez needed to finish Quartey to get the win. Lopez, being the aggressor in the 12th round, appeared to have won the round. The scorecards read 113, 113, 116, 112, and 115, 114 for Quartey, but that decision was overturned due to an error in the scoring on one of the judges' scorecards, and the fight ultimately was declared a draw. After the draw with Lopez, Quartey will be stripped of his WBA title due to inactivity from personal, business, and health issues that kept him out the ring. After 14 months out the ring, he would challenge the lineal and WBC welterweight champion and the cash cow and the biggest star in the sport, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. De La Hoya and Quartey would clash at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas on February 13, 1999. Round 1, Quartey came out quickly establishing his jab. The Golden Boy was looking for opportunities to counter, using his own jab and going to the body with his patent left hook. Oscar threw hard combinations to the head and body as Quartey shelled up, looking to steal round 1 from the challenger. Round 2, De La Hoya seemed to be the aggressor while Quartey was looking for his opportunities to jab and counter. Towards the end of the round, Quartey landed a jab followed by a sharp straight right hand that momentarily stunned Oscar. Last few seconds in the round, with Oscar looking to steal the round with a flurry, gets caught with a left hook in the exchange that might have gave Quartey round 2. Round 3 and 4 went to De La Hoya by most ringside observers for his crisp counters and landing cleaner shots. To start round 6, the Golden Boy drops Quartey with a sharp left hook and a quick exchange in the center of the ring. Then halfway through the round, Quartey then dropped the champion with a clean left hook, putting De La Hoya down on his back pockets to even up the round. 2 of the 3 judges gave Quartey round 6. Round 7, Quartey continued to counter and land right hands behind his jab, winning round 7 and 8 to most ringside observers. Towards the end of round 9, Quartey lands a thunderous right hand, which were the most significant punches landed in the round. But the Golden Boy would attempt to steal the round, landing a quick flurry shortly afterwards. Round 10, Oscar lands a quick counter left that appeared to momentarily stun Quartey. Round 10 being scored for Oscar De La Hoya. Round 11, you can see Oscar's eyes starting to bruise and swell due to the Bazooka's sharp jab throughout the fight. But Oscar was the aggressor in the championship rounds, and round 11 was given to the champion on all the scorecards. Round 12, the Golden Boy came out firing, landing another hard left hook that dropped Quartey again. It might have costed him the fight. Oscar would jump all over Quartey to finish him in the round, but appeared to gas himself out looking for the knockout. Quartey appeared to be hurt by a couple of shots in that flurry, but continued to throw shots back at Oscar, preventing the referee from stopping the fight prematurely. The scorecards read 115, 114, Quartey, 116, 112, and 116, 113. giving the Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya a split decision victory over Ike Bazooka Quartey. Due to another controversial defeat, he lost interest in the sport of boxing. Quartey would miss another 14 months out the ring after the De La Hoya loss. He returned to the ring in April of 2000, moving up a division to challenge the young champion, ferocious Fernando Vargas, for the IBF junior middleweight strap. Quartey viewed Vargas as a boy who wasn't experienced enough to fight a seasoned veteran like himself. Vargas had fought Winky Wright to a majority draw in his previous fight and was looking to show the world he was a world-class fighter and amongst the elite fighters in the sport. Round 1, Vargas charged at Quartey, backing him up and landing a chopping right hand to set the tone early. Vargas was out to prove that he was indeed a grown man and not a boy, and Quartey would be in for a real fight. Vargas showed he was just as big and strong as Quartey, landing solid right hands and hooks to the body against the challenger Quartey. In round 2, Vargas would throw a number of hard right hands straight up the middle to the head of Quartey. Vargas would back Quartey into the ropes and throw hard shots to the head and body, showing Quartey that he was a true 154-pounder. In round 3, Quartey will begin to back up the champion with his jab, looking to land some hard shots of his own. End of round 3, Quartey would land a nice 1-2 combination and win round 3. After 3 rounds, Harold Letterman would score 2-1 for Vargas. Round 4 was back and forth, with Quartey effectively landing his jab and Vargas effectively landing shots up the middle with uppercuts on the inside. Round 6 was fought in the phone booth. Vargas lands a hard uppercut on Quartey, moving him back, and was looking to punish and possibly finish Quartey. But Bazooka would finish the round, but clearly lose round 6. Vargas and Quartey would split rounds 7 and 8. Harold Letterman had Vargas up 77-74 going into round 9, scoring 1 round even. Round 9, Quartey would begin to back Vargas up again with the jab and land a clean right hand after his patented jab to the face of ferocious Fernando Vargas. Round 9, Quartey appeared to have hurt Vargas and was clearly his best round in the fight so far. Quartey winning rounds 8 and 9 on the unofficial scorecard, was looking like he was going to rally and show his experience against the young champion. In round 11, Quartey would land another hard right hand that stopped the young buck in his tracks. This fight was a barn burner with a lot of back and forth action. Both fighters were determined to win. Vargas would win round 11 on the unofficial scorecard. In round 12, Vargas would land some combinations against Quartey and appeared to be winning the final round, when Quartey landed another hard right hand, but probably wasn't enough to win the round for Quartey. After the final bell, the scorecards read 113, 114, 111, 116, and 111, 116, giving the champion ferocious Fernando Vargas a unanimous decision, handing Quartey his second consecutive loss. Following a disappointing loss against Vargas, Quartey would take a 5-year hiatus from boxing, returning in January 2005 to fight Clint McNeil in Accra, Ghana, winning by TKO. After McNeil, he would fight and win 2 more times in 2005, against Vernon Phillips, winning by unanimous decision, and Carlos Bojorquez, winning by TKO. His next big fight would take place on August 5, 2006 at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden in New York City, against the 37-2 Vernon the Viper Forrest. The Viper was looking menacing from the introduction. He even received a warning from the referee Arthur McCanty for being apprehensive to touch gloves with Quartey.
Vernon, be a sport and touch gloves. Vernon, I'm telling you to touch him up. Let's go. Don't start. Don't start.
Both fighters looked ready for battle. Round 1, Forrest came out looking to establish his jab and land some hard shots against Quartey. But it didn't take long for Bazooka to land the first power shot of the fight. A hard left hook that almost twisted Forrest's head off his neck. Quartey steadily walked down the 2-time champion, using his jab, looking to get inside and land shots. In round 2, both fighters came out looking to work off the jab, Vernon changing levels with his, but not really landing when Quartey lands a crisp 2-punch combo with Vernon against the ropes. Quartey would continue to walk him down and land some hard left hooks to the head and body of Forrest. Quartey landed all the significant shots in round 2. Towards the end of round 3, Quartey landed some punishing left hooks to the body and head of Forrest. Quartey kept the Viper backing up the whole round, as Vernon kept looking to land 1 shot at a time. Rounds 4 and 5, Quartey used his jab masterfully, keeping Vernon on the back foot looking to counter. Round 6, Quartey was walking him down, stalking the Viper, working behind his jab, getting close, roughing him up with the shots to the body and hard hooks to the head. Halfway through the fight, Quartey was clearly outlanding Forrest and landing the harder, cleaner shots, and his jab couldn't miss. Also, he had Vernon swinging at air during a lot of exchanges up to this point. Round 7, the Viper started to counter with some effective body shots against Quartey. While Quartey was relying on his jab the majority of the round, Quartey just followed him around without effectively cutting off the ring. Round 7 was a good round for Forrest. Round 8, the Viper continued to invest heavily to the body of Quartey. You could see it was definitely having an effect on the Ghanaian. In round 9, Quartey continued to walk Forrest down behind his jab, looking to apply pressure when Forrest hit Quartey in the sub-Saharan region. Getting a point taken in the fight, most observers had him losing at this point. In the 10th and final round, Quartey continued to walk Vernon down behind the jab, looking to seal the victory. After the final bell, the scorecards read 95-94, 95-94, and 96-93, all for the Vernon the Viper Forrest. The spectators at MSG rained down boos for this decision. Once again, Quartey will be on the losing side of a decision deemed controversial. In what will be Quartey's last fight, he will face former undisputed junior middleweight champion Ronald Winky Wright on December 2nd, 2006 at St. Pete Times Farm in Tampa, Florida. Winky was on an impressive run with 2 wins over Sugar Shane Mosley, a win over Felix Trinidad, and he fought Jermaine Taylor to a split decision draw in his previous fight. Quartey will have his hands full with Winky, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Round 1. Winky came out throwing some punches and bunches, landing shots around Quartey's guard. It was clear from the onset that Winky was the bigger, stronger man. Round 2. Quartey started to land some shots in close. Then Winky lands a hard lead hook that stunned Quartey. He will be helped to the canvas by some follow-up shots from Winky. Rounds 3 and 4, Winky will continue to dominate the action, peppering Quartey with multiple shots in combination. Going into the 5th round, Wright was up 4 rounds to none on Harold Letterman's unofficial scorecard. Round 5, Winky catches Quartey again with a hook that had him doing a stanky leg. Quartey was looking like a shadow of his former self up until this point in the fight. Quartey was having some issues getting through Winky's guard, trying to land anything effective. In round 8, Winky lands another blistering combination that appeared to have hurt Quartey. Winky was clearly winning this fight. Quartey would almost definitely need a KO to win. In the final round, Quartey tried to rally, landed some shots, but it proved too little too late. The fate of the veteran pugilist was in the hands of the judges at this point. Quartey might have won the last round of his career, but clearly lost the fight. The scorecards read 117-110, 117-110, and 117-109, giving Ronald Winky Wright the victory by unanimous decision. Ike Bazooka Quartey was a tough fighter. He was a champion who has fought some of the best fighters in the world, but often came up short or even got robbed by decision against top competition. Ike Bazooka Quartey should be remembered as a great competitor and fearless champion. Making his way out of BOUKOM Village to the bright lights of Madison Square Garden is a hell of an accomplishment. Maybe one day he'll make it into the Hall of Fame. This has been Legendary Profiles from the Parry. Let me remind you to jab that like button, uppercut that subscribe button, lead hook that share button, and drop a comment in the comment section. And throw a combination at the notification bell so you can stay updated when we drop new content. Remember, this is the Parry, where we don't pull or duck no punches, and the parry is fundamental to boxing. This is Bomani UFG hitting y'all with another Legendary Profiles from the Parry. And we out. Peace.
Actually, now we're going to show you how to catch the jab. Actually, in boxing, it's called parrying.